All right, we're about to get a Dion live reaction because he hasn't even looked at this yet. So this is going to be special. Bret Bielema, um, tends to have some beef with the SEC quite often these days. There's now a new one about Josh McCray, who is now going to Georgia and apparently like was committed 12 hours or something like that after he hit the portal.
Not committed, not committed. So, I mean, I only know I'm looking at everything right now. So, JK wasn't lying when he said I haven't seen it. This is a live reaction, but I'm looking at it all right now. He was visiting Georgia 12 hours after he
So
entered the poll.
basically, the offer was lined up, is what we're
For
getting
sure.
at here.
Yeah, for sure.
So now, basically, like the accusation is Georgia tampering, but like I'm gonna say this, and then you can cook however you want. Like to me, the whole NIL era is tampering, but I mean that's just like to me that's just the reality of it now.
Yeah, I mean, you're constantly t like tampering everything you do in life, right? Like if you think about it, if you think about it, right? I have a 9 to 5. If I accept another 9 to 5, were they not tampering with me? You know what I mean? Like I was employed by somebody else. Like I was under contract with somebody else. Like I agreed to work for somebody else, but now I'm working for you. I just gave a 2 week notice. Same idea. It's the same idea. I think you're constantly tampering. There's tampering in professional sports. There's literally a tampering window in the NFL where you're able to like legally tamper. What does that mean? Like, like what is that? There's the NBA where you like sign 2 minutes after free agency begins, and the NBA is like, we're going to investigate the tampering. Okay. How did it not come back that they tampered when he agreed to a deal 2 minutes later? You know what I mean? Like, there's tampering in everything you do. I think it's part of the game. I think to combat tampering, you just have to convince players to want to stay. Whether he got tampered with or not, there was an element of him not wanting to be at Illinois that plays a bigger role in him going to Georgia, and he would have preferred to play for Georgia. And whether he got tampered with or just entered the portal and waited for Georgia to reach out, eventually Georgia reaches out and he leaves. But he didn't leave because he got tampered with. He left because he didn't want to be there, and then the tampering with just made it an easier process for him.
Yeah, and I think like it it's one of those things where, like you said, he gets tampered with. Obviously, Illinois, I'm sure, was given the chance to counter offer and try to convince him to stay. But the bottom line is, I mean, if I'm Illinois, like I'm not really offended by it. Like Georgia has as much or more money than any football program in the country. And the guy's 23 years old. Running backs, as we know, do not have a long shelf life. He's got a better chance of getting drafted if he goes to Georgia than he does if he stays at Illinois. And that's not disrespect to Illinois. It's just Georgia's Georgia. Like there's very few schools you can go to. Like Georgia just produces pros. I don't think that like he left Illinois to slight Brett or like to slight the program. I'm sure he loved it, but like at the end of the day, I think this is just one of those moves that's like it's better for my future.
This video is brought to you by NBA2K Lab.com. 2K Lab worked with us last summer as well. They're one of our favorite entities in all of sports gaming. We want to show you their college basketball stadium locator challenge game. And I'm going to share a screen right now as we do this. South Carolina, bang. Oh,
Ooh.
okay, that's pretty good. Next, North Carolina. Why are we only getting the Carolinas?
Please
Bang.
lock in.
St. John's, that's New
New
York.
York.
Bang.
Where's New Jersey?
We're on fire. Colorado. I actually don't know what state Colorado is.
It's in Colorado. There's a state of
Is that
Colorado.
this one?
It's to the right of Phoenix.
Anyway, you get the picture. This game's really fun. They've got more games as well, like Guess the NBA Player, Mystery Fantasy Draft, and more. Stay tuned for all of the college football content and games that they'll be putting together to help you get the best experience out of college football 26. Back to the video.
Yeah, Bret Bielema said after he entered the portal, actually, I'm hoping this is like a real quote. This is a Georgia fan that tweeted this.
Oh
I'm
God.
hoping this is a real quote. It feels like a Bielema quote, though. I wasn't shocked at what yesterday was. We had prepared for that moment. Like, so he knew. That's what I'm saying. Like you know who's willing to enter the portal before you tamper, right? Like for as much as colleges are reaching out to these kids, you're telling me that Josh McCray's like circle wasn't reaching out to see who was interested. You know what I mean? Like within tampering, it's always the organization that gets blamed for it. But Timothy Mozgov's agents weren't reaching out to the Lakers that 2016 free agency to see what they were going to offer him. Are you kidding me? Like that's a two-way street. Like these players want to know what's available to them on the market too, because no one just wants to uproot and leave. Like no one's trying to pack their bags for fun. So it's 50-50. Like I think sure, I think Georgia probably tampered, but I also definitely think Josh McCray was like, please come tamper. And Bret Bielema knew that he wanted to do that.
Yeah, I think that Bielema just, from what I've seen, dating back to the bowl game last year, like he's really good at pissing SEC coaches and like SEC people off, and I think he just gets like. I honestly don't even think he's mad, like you said. Like that quote does sound like something he would say. I think this is more him saying, I really feel like pissing some SEC people off today, and I guarantee you that it did. I bet you SEC fans saw that tweet and were so mad. And it's like this is why he does it. And honestly, I respect that so much as a fellow like petty, loves to piss people off guy. I respect his nagging of the SEC.
I think college coaches more than any brand of coaches, besides maybe soccer managers, love being in the limelight. They love being in the news more than anybody. I think college football coaches specifically. Basketball coaches a little bit less unless you're John Calipari or Pitino. But like I think like college coaches love being in the limelight. We haven't heard a lot about Bielema since his extension. And he was doing an interview, and he needed a one-hit click, and he got it. And I also think everything some of these coaches do is calculated. So I don't think there's a coincidence this interview is happening after all the lawsuit stuff about like the revenue sharing and whatnot. And I think it's just there are a lot of question marks about the future of NIL. I think this quote is A to get himself in the headlines, but I think it's also it's there to like are we going to discuss the tampering when we discuss everything else? Like, let's not forget what else is going on here. So I think it was extremely calculated on his part in terms of like the timing of it. But I do think it was like, I'm ready to be back in the headlines a little bit.
Yeah, and I'll give him his credit. He's really freaking good at it. Like this man had Shane Beamer in shambles in a bowl game. Like, sorry, Ralph. Didn't mean to bring that up, but I mean, he's really, really good at it. And I also think, to the calculated point, my last thing, I think Illinois got a mixture of they're gonna be good this year. Also, they have a favorable schedule. They're gonna be. I would assume that like with the way the schedule shakes up, I do agree with the whole McAfee. Like they have a chance to be this year's Indiana type of thing. And if that happens, you mix them being good with all the headline. It's going to be huge for Illinois football.
Yeah. And Bielema is going to have them in the headlines too, right? Like, ain't too much of a difference between Deion Sanders and Bielema.
Yeah,